Hi guys, Office Bloke Dave here.
And I'm Ash.
Together we're Office Bloke Dave and...
Ash.
There you go.
I thought you were just stopping to burp or something.
No, you just started powered down because it's late. And I'm Office Bloke Dave and...
I was going to say, I was just like, what?
There you go.
Connection interference.
We just went from Ren for Joe, which got very deep, to the dude pretending to be a girl on Omegle, which was...
Proper cheer me up.
It was exactly what we needed in that situation, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So now we're going to end on a Lorna Shaw one-take vocal performance. You know how we watched Tatiana from Ginger do this sort of thing?
Yes.
This is Will Ramos now doing just a one-take vocal.
Amazing. And he's the singer that
He's
we
the current
watched in
singer.
the last two Lorna Shaws.
The first one we did was Will Ramos.
Right.
The second one we did was CJ, I think he's called, and he's the old vocalist.
Right. And you guys have no context because obviously it's been copyrighted and blocked completely.
Neither of those reactions have come out yet, pending appeal for copyright reasons. I'm surprised at Lorna Shaw of all bands. It's set to just instantly block when reactions are such a big thing to him. But I think that's a lot of the time that's down to the distribution, the record label, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, the managers.
But yeah, it is what it is, and fingers crossed they get released to us soon, and you can actually see Ash's first ever reaction to Lorna Shaw. In fact, I mean, this may get blocked, so you may be seeing this in a month's time. So.
It might be on his Patreon.
Yeah, there you go. Right then, Lorna Shaw, Into the Earth, one-take vocal performance from Will Ramos.
Okay.
Who is just one of the most ridiculous vocalists in the world, isn't he?
Yeah, he is, yeah.
And he can sing. I've not showed you that yet.
No, you haven't.
You can fucking sing. Bastards. We're reacting to a lot of bastards today, aren't we? Just bastard man. You're a bastard man. Just quickly, this is new. And my bro messaged me this last night because he's obsessed with Lorna Shaw.
We're going to go see them live.
We've got tickets to go see Lorna Shaw, but he's also obsessed with reactions to Lorna Shaw. So he sent me this and went, "You've just got to do it." So there you go. Cheers, James.
Okay.
But yeah, see us at the Lorna Shaw Manchester gig this year. Buy us a beer.
Yes, please.
Into the Earth.
Can we just take a moment to
appreciate the musicians in this?
I wasn't going to say the musicians. I was just going to say like how effortless that is for him.
Oh yeah, so effortless. Like all you get is a little puff of his cheeks. But I didn't know you were going to say that. I thought you were going to say like the band is fucking on it.
The band,
like the music is unreal,
ridiculous,
unbelievable.
But this is just like
a walk in the park for him. Like seriously, like I couldn't even begin to try and growling, and that is amazing.
He's done collabs with a girl called This Charismatic Voice, and she's a vocal coach, but she also reacts to metal music and things like that sometimes. And they've done collabs where he's taught her to do metal vocals, and she's sort of trained him on singing. I've not watched any of it yet, but my bro's been telling me about it. But they also did one where they put a camera down his throat while he's doing the vocals.
Sick.
And allegedly there's some weird stuff going on there, like something to do with vocal cords turning sideways or twisting. Or
wow.
Like, I don't know because I've not watched it yet, but we will.
We need to watch that.
It's quite
I
a
like
long
the biology
one,
of it.
It's a long video, but
still, I like the biology of it.
Ash is a scientist, so she will be able to go, yes, I can confirm they are vocal
cords. I'm not a
cords.
physiologist.
You've got biology, haven't you?
Yeah, but the reaction of drugs in the human system, so it's biochemistry, biology, not physiology.
Dirt. I know it's bad luck to pause during a beatdown or a breakdown or whatever people want to call it nowadays.
That is.
I think what he was just doing was mostly through his nose, that last bit.
I was going to say, it was like he was humming. I think it was like he was making
was
noise
that,
on the inside of his mouth.
Well, no, it's like chewing it.
Well, it's like when you go, like you like putting sound
like
in
a
your
really...
mouth. Yes, oh, real. I mean, look at the shape of his lips and things. That's unbelievable talent.
Ginger Judgment and Punishment one take vocal we just did. When I said I was looking at a mouth loads, it's the same thing with this. It's like, what the fuck are they actually doing?
I know, what are they doing?
No sense.
It's amazing what we can do with like muscles that most people don't even know exist.
Yeah, when people say that we unlock 5% of the brain's capabilities and stuff, like the vast majority of it just we don't use. Maybe 5%, 10%. I don't know what it is.
It's a myth. We operate every section of our brain.
Every section, but we don't use every...
No, because a lot of that is memory stores.
Maybe, but we don't know that.
Not completely.
But I think
most of the research has indicated otherwise.
I think the 5%. Body is a similar thing, though, where some people have just spent so long mastering certain muscles and movements and things that other people just neglect.
To agree, to some point, I agree with you, but it's also down to genetics and phenotypes. So obviously, phenotypes is what's expressed from your genes, and it's like you have the genetic code for every single eye color on the planet, but there are obviously specific genes and phenotypes in your family. Obviously,
so Will Ramos has dirty deathcore vocalist phenotypes.
You don't know that.
She's a scientist too. You heard it here first. His mum was
he
a
could have
deathcore.
been like one of those Tibetan throat singer families. He could be from a line of people like that.
His mum's a deathcore singer, his dad's a deathcore singer.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
I know what you're saying.
When you see these NFL football players marrying cheerleaders, they produce unbelievable athletic babies.
Yeah.
Genetics.
Damn. So easy, isn't it? It's a piss take, isn't it?
Unbelievable.
Just by the way his hands are moving there, he
knows how to play all of that.
I don't know if he necessarily is good enough to play that, and he may not even play guitar, but my theory is he's also a good guitarist.
From the way he's moving his hands, I would agree with you.
He at least understands what he's doing
and where the fingers are, yeah. I absolutely agree with that.
Bastards, I told you. Bastards. Probably pick up the cello next and be amazing at it.
It's the long growls that he's doing. His lungs must be humongous.
I'm not sure he's using that much air for a lot of this.
No, to get the sound, that low tone, and obviously through your vocal cords, you have to release quite a lot of air to have it go for that long period of time.
There's someone called Melissa Cross who trains a load of the metal vocalists. I had one of her DVDs like 10, 12 years ago, and I had it for a couple of weeks and lent it to the drummer in my band who disappeared it and then gave me money later on. And it was like all about she calls it the zen of screaming.
Okay.
And it's about not... I wish you hadn't fucking got rid of it. I'm going to have to buy it back and try and do it again. But it's about not using too much air to do these things. And it's like, it's not about volume, it's about projection.
But then that's massive diaphragm control and control of the vocal cords to slow down the release of that oxygen from your lungs.
But that's what I think he's more doing. I think he's I don't think he's using anywhere near the sort of air that we think we would use to make those sort of noises.
I'd be out of breath by
And I think that's where a lot of the damage comes from on vocal cords, is when people use too much air and have no technique and just absolutely slap them together and destroy them.
Or just overuse, because like Adele, she had to have vocal
she had polyps, didn't she?
Yeah.
I think she had polyps.
And that's why it's like that song from the Skyfall, that's it. She was obviously doing for the Bond film and she was in it was post-surgery or something, and that's why it sounds so crackly, and they kept offering to replace, and she's like, this is my chance, like the Bond movies.
Yeah. Adele's chance to make a hit.
I know, she's an unbelievable singer.
Jesus Christ.
Into the earth.
What a fucking dude.
He's not. He didn't have his mouth open for that last technique.
No, that's what I said. That's
out of his...
Just literally out of his nose, or just the vibrations in his mouth. Like we
it's
all
like
do,
it's
like humming. Yeah.
But
I appreciate when he wasn't singing as well. As much as we talk about, obviously, him as a singer because he's unbelievable.
Yeah.
The band. I am so excited to see these guys live.
It's going to be insane, isn't it?
The drummer was nailing, when he was doing the low growl, you could hear the drrrr of the drum, keeping in time with his low growl. Yeah. So it made it sound like he was making almost like a vibrato almost with his growling.
I don't know what they do live, but allegedly they don't have a keyboard player, which makes me think that the only way you could do that is to play to a click track. So the drummer's got a click track in his ear, and then they essentially press play on the synths and stuff, and he plays along to the synths, because it's so keyboard heavy for some of the darker bits. But I allegedly they don't have a keyboard player live, which I think a lot of deathcore bands don't.
No.
But
it's a lot to cart around with them, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't think there's a lot of keyboard players that play deathcore. I don't know. It's purely theoretical. But I can only imagine that this will be played to a click track live because it's so tight and it's so ridiculous. And the drummer can sort of trigger a keyboard bit coming in or whatever.
It's unbelievable.
I'm so excited to see what they're going to be like live.
Like, seriously, I'm so glad that you introduced me to them, and then we found tickets, because this is going to be so much goddamn fun.
My bro finally paid me for the tickets.
I was going to say, when he messaged you about... So they went out with the kids today, because it's been dreary in Manchester and obviously the north in general. Yeah. And when he popped up saying, like, can you transfer me the cash for the mini golf? First thing I thought was, I wonder if he's paid him for the Lorna Shore, because if he's asking for the money from Dave, has he actually paid
basically
him?
Just gave him the money back that you tickets. Yeah, but it's that's the way it goes, isn't it? Like
that's what family do.
We don't care about that sort of thing.
You don't care, but it's fun to make jokes about it, because that's just what you do. You're supposed to rip on your family.
Where's my money?
Where's my money, bitch?
Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, like, unbelievable band, unbelievable singer.
You know what I mean with those one take vocals though, where I don't think people believe that someone could do that until they watch a one take vocal, and without a doubt, there's no trickery, but there's like, compressors and there's like audio things used on his vocal there.
Yeah,
to a degree, not overdone, but there's things that people do. But I think when people listen to bands like Lorna Shore, they just assume everything is just studio trickery, and that's a way of just showing, no, I can fucking do this.
See, I've never minded people editing, as it were.
Everything.
But that's it. To me, if you have the musical ear to hear what needs to be altered slightly, why is that so bad?
I don't think anything.
I don't agree when someone just completely auto-tunes and then it gets to the point where they try and sing live and they don't sound anything like what they're supposed to.
I'm not saying things are like tuned or edited in that sort of way, but for example, like a microphone like this one, it's a USB one, just goes into the computer.
Yeah.
But a lot of other microphones have their own characteristics.
Yeah.
So like a specific mic is great for something, but then it goes to a preamp, which is essentially like this audio interface there, where there's like classic preamps where if you turn up the input gain, so the how hot the microphone is to that, how turned up the microphone is to that, you turn that up, and then you turn it down from there to the PC, and you get like very slight sort of distortion and like the sound of the preamp. I'm getting so fucking nerdy here, but there's
you just told me off for being nerdy. But
nerdy
I get it
stuff.
Because remember, like, one of my oldest friends is a sound engineer.
Yeah.
So I do kind of get it.
I'm not saying studio trickery in the sense of like they are pitch shifting his growls and doing this and that. I'm not saying that whatsoever. No. I'm just talking about like going through a nice preamp just turned up, a compressor which brings it sort of evens the volume out a little bit.
Which we appreciate, because we all hate those films that like is super quiet when they're talking and then something actually happens and it's unbelievably loud.
But I think that may be a reason for the existence of these one take vocals, because it's just to go to people, no, look, we can actually do this.
Yeah. I really like that song. I really enjoy it. I mean, I really love this band so far. I can't wait to see them live. I hope you guys get to see our reactions. Otherwise, it'll be on Patreon anyway.
Well, we may film us going to the Lorna Shore concert and
go live on Insta.
Well, whatever. We'll fix it. Not with me, because I'm on O2 and the signal is absolute dog shit. Fuck O2. Never get a contract with them. Suck my balls, O2.
No sponsorship here.
They could offer me £1 million and I'd take the money, do the advert, and like I'd be blinking Morse code in the advert going, do not get a contract. I'd take the money, don't get me wrong, I would take that money, but I would make I'd make it aware. I'd be doing like, there'd be really subtle sign language or something in the video. Anyway, we digress. I hope you enjoyed that one, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe and all that good stuff. It does mean the world to me. It means the world to us.
It does, yeah.
Don't forget, I've got a Patreon. If you're desperate for us to react to something or me to react to something or whatever, if you're in a band and you really want to see a reaction to your band, that's the way to do it. So,
yes.
There you go.
And soon, eventually, when Dave's finished showing me things, I'm going to show him stuffs. Yeah, he's getting the beer out.
Show me something.
My music's not that bad. Oh.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.